Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A hero 7th grader saves the day on the way home from school after his bus driver had a medical emergency and lost consciousness. That young boy realized what was happening and ran to the front, stopped the bus himself, saving the driver and his Carter Middle School classmates. Thanks for being with us, everybody. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. Mara McDonald live in Warren tonight with the story of a very special young man. Mara.
Devin, he's a little star, that's for sure. So the school is telling us it all went down like this. The kids get on the bus here at Carter. They're going home for the day. They get about a mile down Masonic this way, and that's when the school bus driver goes into that medical emergency, and that 7th grader springs into action. The school district letting parents know it was a 7th grade boy who jumped in to save the day when his bus driver lost consciousness here on Masonic near Bunnert. As soon as the district posted on its Facebook page about the situation, it went viral and has been shared thousands of times across social media platforms, including from Macomb County Executive Mark Hackel with a, as you can see, shout out to Dylan, Macomb County's local hero. The praise is pouring in tonight, and not just from strangers, but from parents of children who are on the bus as well. Warren Consolidated School Superintendent Dr. Robert Livernois saying that boy's actions made all the difference today, and the district could not be prouder of him. Back here live, the school district says that Warren Police and Fire got out here very quickly. They got all those children off the bus. None of them were hurt. They got them home. The bus driver was taken to the hospital, and it sounds like Warren Kahn is going to have a press conference sometime tomorrow afternoon to give Dylan his very deserved kudos. We're live in Warren tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
It's a lot to celebrate, no doubt. All right, Mara.
Crime scene investigators returned to the home where a well-known neurosurgeon was found dead. The mystery remains around how Devon Hoover was killed. Those who knew him are talking with our Jacqueline Francis tonight. Jacqueline is live outside his home in the Boston Edison neighborhood with more. Jacqueline.
State police had their forensics team out here tonight for hours. They just left moments ago. And while we still don't know a lot about how he died, we do know how he lived. As a neurosurgeon, Dr. Hoover regularly saved lives and helped improve the lives of his patients by allowing them to walk again. It's not every doctor who has patients wanting to take their picture with them.
And you could tell he was kind of like, not used to that. I mean, I don't think anybody else was posting pictures. I'm like, please, please, Dr. Hoover.
That photo, now a memory Cheryl Lever cherishes.
He thankfully did it. I'm very glad he did.
This past Sunday, the neurosurgeon, 53-year-old Devon Hoover, was found shot to death in his home on West Boston Boulevard in the historic Boston Edison district. Crime scene investigators were back at the home Wednesday. And while police remain tight-lipped about what happened, those who knew him can't say enough about what he meant to them.
Hey, you ever noticed, like, when people die, all these people say, "What? Everybody knows that person. Everybody says wonderful things." And, you know, it's not always true. With Dr. Hoover, I was reading all the stuff online, and it is. I mean, he was just so fabulous and very modest.
Where did this come from that this would have happened to him?
Neighbors say he was compassionate and active in his community.
The nicest person. You would never thought anything. Never, ever, ever thought anything would happen like this.
Now, the thing everyone is waiting for, justice.
Absolutely horrible and horrific, and I feel for his family and his friends that are very close with him. I just hope that they find the person very soon and bring justice to him. He deserves that.
Late tonight, we got a statement from Dr. Hoover's family. It reads, "We wish to express our profound sadness at the loss of a beloved son, brother, and uncle. We grieve his untimely death and will miss him greatly. We are so grateful for the many words of kindness and stories from people who were touched by his life. He was a gift from God and used his talents to bless many." We're live in the Boston Edison district tonight. Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Okay, Jacqueline, thank you.
5 people in custody after a road rage shooting in Detroit. We had reported on it yesterday evening. It happened on northbound I-75 at Schaefer. Police tried to pull over a suspect's car on Detroit's west side. The car wouldn't stop, so troopers then used a pit maneuver to end that chase, and that's when 2 weapons were found in the car. Police searches after the chase led them to an arrest, and they believe one of them is the one who fired the shots on the freeway.
New at 11, state police looking for a man who was picked up by a Lyft driver in Macomb County. Investigators say Isaiah Bird was last seen April 16th in Bruce Township. They say he was headed to work, but family members say they don't know where he works. He was last seen wearing a white T-shirt with blue stripes, blue jeans, and white tennis shoes. Anyone with information can call Michigan State Police. The area around Little Caesars Arena was the scene of a different kind of gathering today.
Law enforcement from state and federal agencies were practicing for a worst-case scenario alongside city leaders. The full-scale exercise was put on by the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. It was designed to address what would be a complex, coordinated attack situation of some kind. This is video of the training that took place away from where the public could see what was going on in District Detroit, sent to us by the city. The training typically takes a year to prepare and then to put on, but the start of the COVID pandemic postponed it from its original date of March 2020. If you were wondering what all the commotion was around the arena today, that's what was happening. Stellantis says it is trying to be more efficient. The UAW says it is pushing to cut jobs while making billions in profits. The automaker is offering voluntary buyouts to more than 33,000 salaried and hourly workers in the United States. Those packages will be mailed to affected workers over the course of the next 7 days. Employees will then need to make their decisions and sign up between May 6th and June 19th, so they get a little more than a month to decide. It all comes as the union is gearing up for contract negotiations, and UAW leadership right now is not happy. In a statement, newly elected UAW President Shawn Fain said, quote, Stellantis' push to cut thousands of jobs while raking in billions in profits is disgusting. This is a slap in the face to our members, their families, their communities, and the American people who saved this company 15 years ago. Even now, politicians and taxpayers are bankrolling the electric vehicle transition, and this is the thanks the working class gets. Shame on Stellantis. End of quote.
Westland's police chief resigns after controversial videos surface of his time before becoming the city's top cop. The video shows Jeff Jedrewski encouraging people to dance and sing to avoid jail time when he was an officer 2 years ago. State Representative Dylan Wigella of Garden City co-authorized a letter with Westland's State Representative Kevin Coleman calling on the chief to resign. Today, the former chief sent an email to the council telling them he was ending his contract with the city, which wasn't a reaction to the public's criticism, rather a matter of timing. Tugboats helped escort a century-old ship to its home today.
Trip started from Lake Huron, and its journey will end in Kingston, Ontario. Tim Pamplin along the Detroit River caught up with the SS Keewatin sail with the night cam as it went by and through the city of Detroit.
It was an absolutely beautiful evening on Belle Isle along the Detroit River. Sun setting, a perfect time to take in some history and learn about a ship older than the Titanic. Self-confessed boat nerds lined the route, taking in the history as it passed by. One was Diane Schottenberg from Grosse Pointe.
We've been watching it on Vessel Tracker. We are so thrilled. This is such a cool boat. There are so few of these left.
The Keewatin, built in Scotland in 1907, served the Canadian Pacific Railroad around Lake Superior. It was retired in the 60s and became a museum vessel in Georgian Bay. And then recently, it kind of languished up there until the owners decided to donate it to a Canadian Maritime Museum up near Toronto.
It's incredible. It takes you back to another age, right? I mean, time's gone by. You can't see the Titanic, obviously, so to see a passenger ship of that era, I thought it was like a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see this piece of history go floating by.
So as the SS Keewatin metaphorically and literally sails off into the sunset, that is the scene along the Detroit River tonight. With the night cam, Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
And Tim was pointing out to me some nice perspective on the historic nature of that last picture. The boat about 22 years older than the Ambassador Bridge.
And the bridge.
Isn't that cool?
How about
Think
that?
about, yeah.
It really is.